woman here with us, and you're going to love this story. It's unlike any you've probably ever heard before. She's an author. Her name is Filomena Tripp. She's written a novel called Invisible Courage. It's a story of her vibrant life, and it's a life, honestly, that even as an infant, some people did not think she would live to tell, and some people didn't think she should live to tell. So this is the incredible thing. She was born in 1955 in San Miguel, Azores. Those are islands off the coast of Portugal. And she was born with multiple handicaps. The lower part of both of her arms did not develop. Only one leg did develop. Now, you can imagine back in 1955 what an incredible situation this was. She wasn't expected to live 24 hours. Filomena Tripp beat the odds. She's now in her 60s. She's lived an outstanding life. She's an independent living specialist at Southeast Center for Independent Living in Fall River, Massachusetts. She has spoken to in numerous conferences and rallies internationally. Filomena Tripp received an award from Massachusetts Rehab Commission and from the Southeast Center for Independent Living. She's a dynamo. She's an activist who works tirelessly for people with disabilities. She challenges herself to always do more and become the best person she can be. She drives a vehicle. On her 51st birthday, she went skydiving. And these are just a few of many of the incredible things she's done in her life. Nothing stops her. And I just can't wait to share Filomena's incredible story with you. So let's bring her in. Come on in, Phil. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, Janine, to invited me to your show. Appreciate it very much.
It's really a treat to speak with you today. And I don't know where to begin, so we'll start at your birth. You know, as I was telling the listeners, you were born with these birth defects.
Yes.
Your mother was no doubt in shock. Doctors were telling her that you wouldn't live more than 24 hours. And it was just an incredible way to start your life. Now, you've heard this story all your life, so tell us, let's begin with that. How do you become such a successful woman when you begin your life with so much against you? What was, something that drove you forward?
Yeah, since I remember being born, I know I had a disability, and I couldn't do things for myself. You know, it was difficult. It was very bad when I remember being, I wasn't a baby. When I remember being in this world, I had a lot of desires, and I had a lot of questions. Why wasn't me? Was born like this? Because my mother had 7 kids before me. And so I was born like this, and it was very hard for me to accept it, but something inside of me, I think I was born with that. I always wanted to do something about me, to fight, to overcome things. Even when I was a little girl, I always wanted to be like everybody else. That was my dream. But it was hard because I didn't have the equipment to do things, and I didn't have and the thing too, I had a hard time was people always criticized me, making fun of me, calling me cripple. They thought I didn't deserve to live.
I want to hold you there, Phil, because that's a very important thing that I want our listeners to understand. You know, even today we live in a world where, children can be rather nasty to one another. Bullying is nearly an epidemic in some school systems, and most of us have some self-esteem issues. But here you are, born with this level of birth defect. And you're even more challenged to find your place in this world.
Right. Because,
go ahead.
It it wasn't not easy because every time I go out a little bit outside, people judge. So I was like homebound.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had to deal with it. I mean, I cried. It didn't help. I was very bitter. That was my big issues in my life. I hated me because I never did anything to destroy my body, no. But I didn't like to live the way I was.
Mm-hmm.
And people not encouraging me made it worse.
Right.
But so everywhere I go, I mean, every place, I couldn't go to schools. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. And that's what my dream was. I mean, I always had that thing. I used to ask my mom, why can I do this? Why can I do that? And she said I couldn't. But then after, I didn't listen. I listened to my parents. I respected them. But when I was growing a little bit, I decided to do what I wanted.
About how old were you, Filomena, when you began to say, you know I can do more than what people are telling me? How old do you think you were when that began to happen?
Well, I was like probably 7, 8. And because I see people grow, and I wanted to have friends. I wanted, I had a desire like a human being, because I am a human being.
You are.
People didn't treat me like that.
For the bad and
I
the
have
good.
to say that, first of all, your book,
I just
Invisible Courage.
thank God for our change. This is not the Filomena that was brought up. Amen. But I kept going, and I'm going to go until I close my eyes. Because I want to encourage everyone that's disabled, mental illness, anything that helps. Because life is too short. Life is too short just because I'm disabled. We should never give up, because I'm a human being, and I thank God that I can show everybody that never treated me the way I used to be. Because and in St. Michael, when you're disabled, they stop there. They treat us like garbage. But we're not garbage. We are human beings, and I'm proud of them to be in this United States. I thank God for everything. And I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to sign the ball.